What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Mysterious Retreats back with another video. This one is a more serious video because I wanted to kind of chime in. I don't know how many people will see this, but hopefully it will be enough people to understand that the message behind what's being said. So I ask you, when you click on this video and you begin to watch it, that you listen to the message in the video and not the mistakes. Don't focus on what it is that you can critique in a situation and not listen to what's being said. I noticed that with the current situations that's happening right now, I was speaking to my husband earlier, and being a black individual in this world and being a mother of sons, I do feel like a portion of fear that's there. Knowing that I believe in my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, knowing that He will protect my children, knowing that I have to sacrifice, I have to fast and do whatever I feel that I have to do as a mother to have extra covering over my children. Now, I wanted to chime in on, and that's not to say that the women that lost their children didn't do that. That's not what I'm saying. But I wanted to chime in on what Pastor Stevens and Pastor, I know the man, but I think it's Pastor Gray. I want to say Pastor Gray or Pastor Gary. I'm not certain. So please correct me in the comments. I do apologize because I don't mean to get his name wrong. I do believe it's Pastor Gray though. But I wanted to chime in on that because, you know, everything they spoke of today was on point, to be honest. The topic was perfect, and I do feel that not to critique their conversation today, but I wish it would have kind of been added, and that's not to be in a negative way, but it's to just say that I don't think that we as black people realize we have more power than we give ourselves credit for. And the reason why I say that is because, you know, even though people will always, and I'm trying to say exactly how I said it to my husband earlier when we were watching them, people will always see you as who you are. They're going to judge you whether you're a good person, a bad person, a negative person, a sweet person, helping person. It doesn't matter. People's going to always have their perception of you regardless. So you can't really change that, but what you can change is who you are. You know, you can change your actions, and right now people are rioting, they're changed it and turning it into a violent situation. They're burning things down, they're messing up black owned stores. They're stealing, you know, and doing things that has nothing to do with the injustice of someone losing their life. My apologies with the lawnmower. I'm sorry if you guys can't hear me. You know, so I find like the initiative thing that creates the situation, like what we choose to do as people as a whole, no race specified, but I'm going to just go ahead and say what we choose to do as a stand-up for our blacks is always a great idea, but somehow in the middle of it we get lost, and I don't understand how is that. Because our minds begin to go other places and not focus on what's going on right now. Now, I don't think the people that are understanding, we're making it easy. We're making it easy for people to judge us and to assume that we are the worst because of situations like this. And what I'm speaking on is, we stand up in peace and we riot and we protest in peace as a beginning thing, and then it turns into a riot, and then we start to burn things up, and then we start to break into stores and things of that nature, hurting the black people that own the stores, but we're trying to protect the black that lost his life. when something is being done, it has to make sense. And the one thing that they said too is the reason why Jesus was able to do the things that he did was because he sat down first. He sat down with the people and he listened to them. I'm not saying to sit down and not do anything, but I think that it should be a sit down moment before people go and just have the initiative to protest. I think that it needs to be something that is communicated upon. Everybody is in agreement to where they want the protest to go, what outcome is they're trying to get from the protest, and you know what they're trying to see come out of the protest, you know. And we as black people make it easy for white racist people to judge us when we act out of character. You know, we know that we are not being fairly treated. But when you're going out and you're breaking into the stores of those that have the same complexion as you, making it difficult for them to feed their children, but yet in the back of your head you're telling yourself that this is fair, what I'm doing is right because I'm fighting for a man that lost his life. Well, you don't realize that what you're choosing to do in that moment is counteracting and it's hurting someone else's life with the same complexion as you. We look at the things that white people do to us as individuals, but we rarely want to pay attention to what it is that we do to ourselves, you know. And I think that that's crazy, because you can change the perception a person can think of a race. Now, if they choose to do it, that's on them. If they don't choose to, then that's on them too. You know, it's nothing that you could really do besides be who you are. And we go out and we want to be treated fairly or looked at as the same or as equal to, but we always are so quick to act out of character. I don't understand that. You have to act as what you want to be treated as. From what what I would think to be common sense. If I want to be treated like a human, I wouldn't act like a dog. If I wanted to be treated like a dog, if I'm a dog, I wouldn't act as if I'm a human. You act as what you are. And that's not to take away from the injustice, the racism, or to make it seem like what's being done to those that don't, to those because of their color is fair. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that I think that people need to realize and understand that every action comes with some sort of consequence. If we're going to protest and we're going to fight to be respected as individuals because of our color, because of who we are, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Please forgive me. If we want to fight or protest and stand up for not to be treated a certain type of way or be treated differently because of our color, or because who they think we are, or because who they assume we are, or because of what they seen before they put it on the faces of every black man and every black woman, we have to act as if we are who we are. We can't act in ways that are not right. You know, we can't just do what we want to do, and then when something come against us, it's like, oh, they're racist. No, not the case. But again, I am by no means saying what was done was wrong. Was right. I'm sorry, I said that completely wrong. Edit, cut. I am by no means saying that what happened was right. It was absolutely wrong. It's absolutely wrong. But what I am saying is that where black people are choosing to take it isn't being done right. It's not being done correctly. They're burning up stores. Where is the common sense in it? You're gonna now, for those that work to provide for their children and that are actually standing up to make a difference, gonna have to pay more money now that's taken out of the mouths of your children to pay to get that stuff rebuilt, taken from the black owners, from the stores, doing the during the pandemic, where shipments are barely being shipped, things are barely being shipped, you can barely order anything, you know what I mean? So you're taking from what they have as their stock to take from them because you feel that it's right. So you're gaining something, but in the middle of it, you're losing this as well. It makes no sense at all. And I don't think people realize that they really can protest and do things in peace. I think there needs to be a middleman, and the middle portion is that we need to learn that we need to take what Dr. King said and also what Malcolm X said, and we need to combine the two. We need to know when to stand in peace, and we need to know when to protect ourselves. You don't have to act and move in violence because you assume that's where it's supposed to go. If you're going to protest in peace, then protest in peace and do what it is that you're set out to do, and not turn it. Because now the racist people that we're trying to protect ourselves from are now looking at us like, look at those black people, look at what they're doing. See, we knew that they were that way. We knew that that's what they do. We knew that, you know, this is the thing that they do, and this is why we think and feel the way that we feel. Is that right for them to feel that? No, it absolutely is. We need to understand that we can change the perception that people have for us. I am a black woman, and if I see a black, a white, an Asian, Mexican, whatever kind of race, you know, there's so many, you know, and then as we become more or go toward the future, races are being formed, you know, with the mingling of different races, you know, creating new races, you know. But if I were to see anyone that was in need of something, I would not hesitate to help that person because of the difference in the color of their skin, but that's my choice. So if that person on the other end that needed to receive the help saw that I was willing to help them, regardless of whatever color skin they have, they would have a different perception of me as an individual. And I chose to do that, not to prove a point to them, but because I chose to do it, and it's in me, you know. But if I were to walk past someone to see they need help and assume that they are the person that would not like me and not help them, then I am giving them the ability, and I'm giving them the okay to assume what they are assuming and thinking is accurate. It is up to me to prove that I am better than what it is that they think of us. And I know that people are going to say, we shouldn't have to do that. We shouldn't have to do this. We shouldn't have to. We shouldn't. We shouldn't. And we realize and know that it's not fair. But what we should understand, that it's easier to prove someone wrong about their perspective or their, perspective, or their assumption of who you are, rather than to allow them to think who you are and not prove them wrong. Like, I will prefer to talk kind to someone that's racist each and every day. I will prefer to speak to them every single day, because it doesn't hurt me to say hello, you know, as more it would probably hurt a racist person to say hello back. But when they begin to say hello back, they will see that it's nothing to fear, and I am only still just as human as they are. So it changes the perception of them that they may have of you, if that makes sense. Again, I'm going to title this as listen to the message and not the mistakes. I am not going to say everything in a perfect way, but understand that where I'm coming from is coming from a good place. I just want us as people to understand that what we do matters. How we're treated unfairly by those that choose to treat us unfairly isn't fair, but what we choose to do from that matters. How we choose to respond to that matters. We can't walk around and do whatever it is that we want to do, and then when somebody responds to something that we want to do, we are then saying we are treated unfairly. We are often treated unfairly. I get that and I understand that. But we can change that perspective. We can change the perspective. I don't know why I can't say this word. It's so irritating. But we can change how people see us. But even in the sense of this, you know, me speaking to my daughter, it's like, you know, I do fear, because it's not a black man thing. It's a black people thing, you know? And
Mama,
if I had sat down and thought about the way that this world is
can
right
I look
now,
at my picture?
it would have made me question
Can I look
whether...
at my picture?
No, not right now. I'll get it down in a second. It would have made me hesitant to have children, because I wouldn't want my children to be raised in this world. But then if I did that, then I would be living in fear and not following the faith that I have from my Lord, knowing that he will protect my children and he will bless me and he will love me. And I would pray every day that my children don't have to fall into the hands of racism or lose their lives to someone that feels that they're more superior to them because of the difference in the color of their skin. Like, that is a fear for every black man that has a son, or every black woman that has a son, every black man that has a daughter, and every black woman that has a daughter. It's to the point where you can't even be safe within your home, fall asleep at night, to wake up the next day and someone's barging into your home. So it is absolutely necessary for us to make a stand and to do what needs to be done. But we have to think about the things that we do, because we do have to walk and move in a way that makes sense, where those racist people can understand that we are the same as you. We love, we care, we cry, we fear, we're concerned about the well-being of our children and ourselves, the same as you are your children. There is no difference. I pray that if there was anything that was misinterpreted, my apologies. If there was something that's said in the wrong way, but you understood what I was trying to say in this message, I thank you, you know, for listening. I thank you for ears. But I just hope that this message is being taken in a positive way, and to understand that we as people are mightier than we allow ourselves to realize that we are. And we can control how people see us. You know, what they choose to think of us, we cannot control, but we can control how we present ourselves. And I think that that's the part that's being forgotten, you know, so that there's so much happening in this world, and there's never a right way to say it. There's never a right way to approach it. It would never be perfect. And that's what, you know, Pastor Stevens and Pastor Gray, I think his name is John Gray, I pray that I got that right, said today. And a lot of things they spoke on is biblically the only person that can change the hearts of those that hate for no reason, and off an assumption that they've been taught, and off an assumption that they choose to see, is Jesus. He's the only person that can change the hearts of those. But we can make a difference in presenting ourselves in the right way. You want to be seen humanly, you act humanly. You want to be seen as equal, you act equal. You know, it's not that because I am black and I jaywalked, I don't deserve a ticket. No. If you did something wrong, then you deserve what it is that the consequence of your actions, just as Pastor John Gray said, you know, you deserve to be punished for what it is that you've done, but you don't deserve to have lost your life, you know, for something that someone else can walk away freely or get a slap on the wrist or a ticket and see the next day. We don't deserve to lose our lives for certain things, but we as people have to understand that I'm not going to say that we were built stronger. I'm not going to say that we were built weaker, but we were built in a way to take on the things of this world. And we just have to walk differently until those that are ignorant around us see that we are no different from them. So I end this message and I pray that what I'm trying to say is being heard, and that the message is being heard and not the mistakes. I pray that we as people get stronger, and that we come together and realize that in order to fix one thing, we don't create a problem somewhere else. You don't take from someone that has the same skin complexion as you. And I think that that's another thing that I'm, thinking of as I'm ending this message. I hope that Black people understand that too. We are super quick to invest our money, to spend our money, and to give our money away to the one that's super quick, the color of the palm of my hand, to treat us differently if there were a situation where we were in danger, than invest and spend our money with the one that looks exactly like us. We will automatically assume that they think that they're better. No, they don't. They don't. They're just trying harder, and I think that we need to start appreciating those that choose to have business in Black communities, that are Black owned business in Black communities, because oftentimes we see, they're Black and they move outside, or they think to open up their business somewhere else, or they don't want to open up in Black communities. But as Black people, we need to realize that is an accomplishment from someone that looks exactly like us, and we need to pour into that business. That person can employ others, open other stores, or that person can teach those in that community how to do the exact same thing. And we strive together and we build up ourselves, and not just be so quick to think that, this person is this person is that, but I'm going to go and give that person my earnings or my wages, or I'm sorry, the camera turned off. But spend my money in these stores. We need to look at stuff like that too. Like, I look at things all the time, and the part that gets me too is that we will harm ourselves. And it's so confusing to me, because whenever there is a celebration for a life that has been lost, and I'm going to say a Black life that's been lost, whether it's a white person or if it was done by the same complexion that we have, the first thing people do is go out and drink and smoke and go to the liquor stores and drink and get drunk and say, we pour this out, or we do this for the life of that person, when they're not even thinking that you're giving money to the person that doesn't respect you, or you're giving money, you're pouring money down the drain, when all that money could come together, can be put in a pot, in all honesty, and given to the person that lost a loved one, so that person can have a proper burial, or given to the children of the person that lost the loved one. Like, we have to start doing things that make sense. You don't go out when someone has lost their life and get drunk, because it's like a double sword there, because now you're getting drunk, but in the midst of you getting drunk for someone that lost their life, you're now giving your life or losing your life closer, or making the decision to get closer to where you will no longer have your life, because you're damaging your kidneys, you're messing up your liver, you're putting toxins in your body to celebrate the life of someone that lost. So as Black individuals in this, I don't come from a negative place, but I do come from a place where we don't think about the stuff that we do. Some of us don't think about the stuff that we do and the decisions that we make properly. I would really pray that we would get a better understanding and stop drinking and smoking when someone loses their life and celebrate them in a way and take that money that you wasted at that corner store and put it in a pot and give it as a gift to the loved one that lost that person, or whoever is in charge for the burial of that person. You know, it's celebrating someone's life is to live. That almost made me cry. But it's not losing your life in the midst, if that makes sense. So again, I'm going to start over and close this out. Thank you guys for listening. I pray that this message is received in a positive way, from open hearts and in a good way. And I pray that Jesus is written all over this message because I'm not coming from a negative place at all. I'm really, truly not. I pray that the Lord blesses the person that hears this message in your name, Jesus Christ, and that the message gets into the right hand, that if anything that was said by me wasn't said correctly, it can be interpreted in the way that I meant it. But I pray that Jesus just blesses us all, you know, in your name, in his name, and that we continue to strive as a people, that we grow as a world together, where color isn't something that is seen first, and who is the person that you're speaking to is seen, and not just what the outside exterior show. So please comment, subscribe, and share this video if you want to. What's the guy to say that? I forget. But you know, if you choose to, hopefully you do. And if you guys like these kind of conversations or messages or so, let me know. And I don't have a problem, because I have conversations with Jesus all the time. You know how you have your talks with Jesus, you know, and people keep thinking crazy or whatever. But, you know, you're not. You just need moments where you have to hear his voice and not the voice of someone with a bigger opinion than the one that matters. So again, like, comment, share, subscribe, and hopefully I see you guys again on a lighter note, a better note, better world, better environment, better community, better situations. Until next time, bye. No, I am. So what's up, guys? I was talking to my husband a second ago about the recording that I just put out there. This is probably going to be like an insert. What I meant to say was about the black-owned stores and spending your money where in, you know, white people stores. I don't know how else to say it. I'm trying to say it as clear as I can, because when you try to edit something, it doesn't come out the way that you want it to be edited. So I'll try to say this as respectful and raw as I can. What I meant by that is that it's not oftentimes do you see a black owned store that has been successful. A black person can open up a store, and within a year or so that store is probably going to be shut down. Where on the corner of each community there is a ran down liquor store that's been there for 20 plus something years. When I made my comment, what I was trying to say is that I don't understand how we as people can go inside and put our money in the stores of those that don't like us, and not put our money or invest our money, or, you know, build up the store, the black owners, or the people, the black owned stores. See, you can never say something twice. You can never say something twice. It's not possible. But, you know, it's not coming from a negative way. I'm not saying to not go inside of white people's stores, you know what I mean? But I would definitely say don't go inside of a racist store and spend your money. Absolutely not. I would say that a Chinese, a white person, whoever, you know, that looks at you only as your green coin
with my packages
and your black skin. If they don't see you as a person, I would not put my money inside their stores. I would not spend my money there. They wouldn't be worth my coin, to be honest. So what I'm saying is that we as people need to invest more in our people, or appreciate those that are have black owned businesses, and not be so quick to spend our money in businesses that recognize us not even as human beings. That's what I meant. That's what I said, and I don't know how else to say it, because if you take negativity from that, then that's personal. I don't care at this point. So
problem is that people need to come together.